Good morning, all. Hope everybody doing good. Today, I am sharing my presentation related to the introduction to electrical concepts. In this presentation, I am going to explain about the definitions of the basic terms, that is voltage and current, and what is an electricity and Ohm's law. Okay. So the first question is, what is an electricity? As we know that all the things which are present in this earth or as in this universe consists of a matter, and each and every matter consists of a molecules. In every molecule is consists of atoms. Okay, in every atom we have a three components, that is proton, electron and neutron. Okay, so proton is a positively charged particle, electron is a negatively charged particle, and neutron is a no charged particle. As we know that the proton and the neutron are always present at the nucleus, and electron is rotated in the orbits. Okay, so why I am saying means, in electricity we have a two major things, that is voltage and current. Okay, if we know these concepts, then only we came to know the what is an voltage, what is a current. Okay, so for that I am giving a how we made the voltage, and what we call it as a, why we are calling that as a potential difference. Okay, so the electricity is the one, as we know that we have a proton and electron. So if I take any electron, because in this outermost orbit there must be a free electrons, if I take an electron from the outermost orbit, so that will becomes as a negatively charged particle, and this will act as a positively charged particle, so that there is a potential difference between the electron and the proton. So an excess of electrons creates the negative charge, and the absence of electrons creates the positive charge. Means if I take an electron, it will becomes as an absence. So as we know that, okay, unlike charges unlike charges attracts, like charges repel, so that the positively charged particle is a proton and negatively charged particle is an electron. As we know that the electron is a lightweight particle, that is as compared to a proton, electron is a lightweight particle, so that always electron moves towards to the proton. Okay, so only we are saying electron flow. Okay, so it is not the proton flow, it is always a electron flow. So that is what I is saying. 1 coulomb is equals to, that is a one charge is equals to 6.25 into 10 power 18 electrons. So in a 1 coulomb we have a these many number of electrons. I shown these numbers. Okay, so this is the amount of electrons present in a 1 coulomb of charge. Okay, so basic definition of an voltage. Okay, so voltage is the one which is we are saying that as a, it is an amount of energy required to take an electron from the outermost orbit. So if we have to use some energy to take that electron from the outermost orbit, so that electron is a charged particle, so I used the charge. So energy to take an electron from the outermost electron, that is a charged particle, so E by Q. So this is invented by the Anderson Volta, which is represented with this symbol, and the terminologies we used as a, we used is EMF, that is electromotive force. Why we are calling as the electromotive force? The voltage is only the one which motivates the electron to move from negative plate to positive plate. So only we are calling this as a EMF, and also we are calling as a potential difference, that is positive is the high polarity, negative is the lower polarity. So it is represented with the letters V or E. So in the case of EMF we write as a E, in the case of voltage we write it as a V, and this is measured with the volts. Okay, and it is represented with the letter V. So if I am explaining this, the concept of voltage with a water analogy. Okay, so I am considering two examples. One, a water which is having the low height. Okay, I am taking the tank of water which I kept in a low height. Similarly, I am taking a water tank kept in a high height. Okay, as seems that in this case the gravity provides the forces to flow the water. So this water flow I am calling as a current. Okay, this height I am calling as a voltage. Okay, so if there is a high height, means if there is a larger potential difference, there is a flow of current. Okay, so you can increase the water flow by making the pipes larger as well. So we have two things. One thing, if I make the larger potential difference, or else if I make the Larger pipes means larger conductors. The pipes are the conductors. Conductors means which doesn't offer the any resistance to flow of electricity. So in these two concepts, we can understand the nature of voltage. Okay, so if there is no potential difference means both the levels are equal means there is no flow of current. Okay, if there is a large potential difference means there must be a flow of electrons. Okay, so hope you understood. Next, the second term is current. Okay, so which is represented with the letter I and measured in amperes. The definition is an unidirectional flow. There is no bidirectional, guys. There is only unidirectional flow of electrons in the presence of potential difference. Means if there is no potential difference, there is no current, guys. Means if the voltage is zero means there is no current flow. So the definition of current itself, the definition of current itself having the voltage. So if there is a voltage exists, there is a current flow. So I am writing that as a I equals to the charge per time. Okay, so I am writing in simple words, flow of electrons or rate of change of charge. We have a multiple definitions which are simply saying in these two terms also. Okay, it is invented by Andrew Marie Ampere. So the inventor name itself he used for the measuring the quantity and the represented with the letter I. Why? Because in a terminology, the people before calling this as a electric intensity, from this I it will comes as a, it is represented with the letter I. So this is the current source representation. In a practical case, there is no practical current source exist. Okay, we have only the voltage sources. In a practicality, there is no current source. Why? Because without there is a voltage, there is no current source. So that there is no practical current source. So the current flow of water energy, the same water energy I am using, if the flow in the hose entering at the top and exists at the bottom. So in a higher polarity, water is starts, and in a lower polarity, water will comes out. So similarly, the current flows from higher to lower polarity, but the electron flows from opposite direction. The water is the current flow of the direction. The more water flowing in the pipe is the more current flowing in the wire. The different pipe diameters illustrate the different resistances. Means if this is having the low diameter means it is having the high resistance. If it is having the high diameter means it is having the low resistance. In a low resistance, the water flow will be so high, so that means the current flow is high. Okay, so the same voltage source analogy I am using for the series connected networks. So we have a 4 batteries. I am using 4 batteries. The same, if we have a 4 taps in a tank. Okay, the first tank is having the, this is with pressure, so this is second, this is third, this is fourth. Okay, as you seen from this one, from the top there is a only small pressure, so that the water comes in a small way. Okay, so if I connect a light over here, it blinks us with a small lighting. Okay, so in a second case it will be somewhat better than this one. This is somewhat greater than this one. The last one which is having the high pressure, which will brighter more. The same example I consider with the 4 batteries, guys. 1 2 3 4, all the 4 batteries I connected in a series fashion. So in a series, the voltage is always additive. So the total voltage in a series connected network is V equals to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4. So that each cell having the 1.5. So the total voltage is 6 volts. Okay, as we know, the first bulb with a dim, somewhat higher, and the last bulb is having the major brightness. Okay, so that is what we seen in our households also. Okay, if we have a low voltage, we have a problem with the dimness. Okay, so the current, the relationship between the voltage and current will explain with the help of Ohm's law. Ohm's law states that the current passing through the conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference applied across its terminals when temperature is constant. That is, we are writing as a I is directly proportional to V. So this is be the network, this is be the circuit which is having the voltage source of voltage source provided by the battery, and an ammeter used to measure the current, and a voltmeter across a resistor which is used to measure the voltage. So this is our resistor. In this circuit, I is the current flowing and V is the voltage applied across its terminals, that is the battery voltage. So The Ohm's law states that I is direct proportional to V. Okay. Or else, if I remove the proportionality constant, I have to replace with a constant K. The value of K is 1 by R. Okay. You can find in many of the textbooks V is direct proportional to I, guys. Okay. But the problem is, in a mathematically, it is correct. V is direct proportional to I. But in a theoretically, it is not a V direct proportional to I, guys. Okay. It is always I is direct proportional to V. The proportionality constant we are calling as a resistance. Okay. So the units of resistance, that is, the definition of resistance is the opposition offered by the conductor, flow of electrons. Okay. So that is, resistance is defined as R equals to rho L by A, where rho is the specific resistivity measured in ohm meter and L is measured in meters. That is length of conductor in meters. A is area of cross section in meter square. If I replace all the units, I will get ohm only. Okay. So the resistance is represented with the letter R and measured in ohms because it is invented by the George Simon Ohm. He used it to keep his name as a unit itself. So this is your symbol, okay, to represent the resistance. I can easily remember the Ohm's law by using this pie chart. If you remember this pie chart, we can write a Ohm's law in any manner. Okay, so half of the circle is having the E, remaining in the bottom halves R and I. Okay, if I want to know the value of R, means if I close this R, it is the ratio of V by I. Okay, if I close this I, it's the ratio of V by R. If I close the E, it's the product of IR. Okay, so by this pie chart, we can easily remember the relationship between the voltage, current, and resistance. Thank you, guys. Hope you understood this presentation. Thank you. Have a nice day, guys.